What is up, everybody? I'm Austin. We're talking finance. Of course, disclaimer, legal. You're on not financial advice, not a financial advisor, entertainment purposes only. It's strictly my opinion. Do your own due diligence before investing in any stocks. Know all that. Anyways, so we're gonna go through this pretty quick today. There's just a couple things I really want to talk about because for the most part, I don't want to just sit here and be redundant, but there are some interesting things that happened. I was up this morning, pre-market at 4 Eastern time, and yeah, it was just interesting. I just sat and watched it all day because I couldn't sleep. But yeah, let's roll over to the chart. Boom. I'm on the day chart, ticker symbol BBIG, BBIG Vinco Ventures. So I'm not gonna lie, okay. This is one that is kind of hurt me a little bit, but we're starting to recoup. Fortunately, I got in on a really good position, and I've been adding to it. But it didn't look like this one was gonna go, and as a matter of fact, the borrow rate has decreased dramatically by about half. But oh, excuse me, let me turn my phone. How horribly unprofessional of me. But I'd be interested to see what Ortex and Finra says about the short share utilization and all of that because let's get down to the minute chart. This is we've had quite the day. A lot of gapping this morning pre-market, but yesterday look at this. From about 145 on to 320. Have you ever seen a more beautiful ladder tack than that? Look at that. Like, guys, for those of you that are just getting started into trading, and I'm no expert by any means, but when you see something like this beautiful pattern, you know, that's not normal. That's not. This is algorithmic trading at its best. And I believe the reason why this is really we're seeing this on BBIG yesterday and not so much today is just the volume. We have a lot more volume. We got 15 million in volume already today, and granted, that's not anywhere really near its average volume, but that's it's a substantial amount of shares being traded. And then you look at it over here. We had this little squeeze here this morning, but now the last, what? Let's see, the last hour. I mean, if it goes one way, if it looks that way coming down and it looks that way going up, these are institutions that are buying this because obviously over the last few days here, it got shorted. These short shares, these got flooded into the market. Obviously, right? Look at this. Look at these gaps. When it was 100% to even borrow. So, you go back into this today, and at the end of yesterday, this was institution selling and buying. This over here, this was institutions selling, manipulating this order flow to look like that there's more selling pressure than buying pressure, and then they drive the price down, gap it out in the pre-market. Because let's face it, they shorts like to cover pre-market. They like to manipulate that pre-market because you don't have everybody trading at that time. You don't have the volume working against you. It's easier to get ahead of the retail. And then boom, right out of the gate, dropped it, and then all day we've been moving up. And we've been riding. We turned this 20-day moving average into from resistance over here to support. This is institutional buying, so that's a really, really strong sign that there is value in this stock. Now, this is not in my world. I didn't day trade this per se, but I'm not. This isn't like a long term investment for me, guys. Like I have my number that I want to get out, and a lot of analysts and there's a lot of speculation about it being, this is going to go up to $40 and stuff. That's great, and if you feel that you want to hold on for that, then fantastic, do that. I'll never tell you how to spend your money. My number, I'll be honest, my number with this stock, I'm probably gonna go. Let's see, where are we at right now? We're trading at $5.03. I'll probably go if it gets to 12. I will probably go, you know, 30% to 50% out, and that will, and then my next number is gonna be like the 15, and then probably all out at 20. Like I always say, base hits, home runs. Cannot be a successful trader chasing these squeezes and just hoping that it happens. That it's just not the way it works. That's not the way I play it. I take what I put in, and then I slowly take my profits as it goes and put my stop losses in play. Because when this one's done, next there'll be another one. There'll be another play right behind it. Speaking of luck and all that mess, I just like looking at this day chart here. This ticker symbol DWAC. What the hell is this? I just had to take a minute. Okay, so today this is good. Okay, we got this beautiful George W form here, and that really, really set that bullish momentum going. And we had a great pre-market. Yesterday was pretty grim. It felt rough. Amazing opportunities for some day trading, though. For those of you that watched how I day traded Camber, this is straight up textbook. I didn't day trade this, but it's pretty obvious what this stock is doing. It's pretty easy to see that, because it's forming these W's at the bottoms, literally at the floor. When I see this pattern right here going in, dip up, and then I'll wait for another dip, and then typically I will wait for that third dip. And as you see, boom, this is textbook. And if you got in here, that's fantastic. You can get in here, and then you can watch it, and as soon as it starts to form that W, dude, the way that you would want to day trade that, is buy somewhere in this floor area, somewhere 55 to 52.77, and then take profits. The first time, when you go up here, and look for these boom candles, right? Any of these places that you would have got out would have been substantial. Generally when you see this pattern right here, these two big boys right next to each other, which I may have even pulled the trigger here, but when you see these two big boys right next to each other, that's a great time to get out. Huge candle, short wick, and do another growing huge channel, boom, out. And then just be satisfied with that. But listen, know your play before you get in it. That way you're not sitting around wondering what's happening. But anyways, let's get back to today. You don't want to gamble with the market. If you start gambling with these numbers and you start taking risks that are not calculated, you're gonna lose, and that's the end of it. It's such a similar pattern today. We're coming down on this MACD. We're probably gonna hopefully see a turnover. See that golden cross come hopefully long before it really gets down to this bottom. And RSI is really good on the chart. Our stochastic is literally at the floor, so there's a lot of upward momentum. And today, this morning, these moving averages shifted from resistance into support. And so it's actually, this is a kind of a fun stock to watch. But, again, this one, be super careful, okay? Because there is no news, okay? There is no news other than Trump starting social media, okay? But like dig into it, okay? There's really no news. There's no reason for this stock to have gone up to like $170. It just, it's all hype. It's all hype, and hype is very short-lived, and it will move. Let's talk about ticker symbol PROG really quick. Nice little squeeze today. Starting at like 11.25. This is beautiful. And this one has been a lot of momentum. And what's amazing is that through a lot of this momentum, our stochastic and our RSI has maintained a pretty decent level of showing strength. And here we're seeing a lot of these patterns today. And again, this is another one that the MACD went from resistance to support. And it really is following that. A lot of these stocks right now are not really dropping that far below that 50-day moving average. So there's a lot of strength in the market. This one is still over 100% to borrow. I find interesting, with 24 million shares out on loan, with a free float of, what is it, 60 million, which has decreased 20 million in the last day. I don't know if that or not, but that means at this point, one third of the free float is short interest. And as long as this climbs and they have to cover, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing that happens. PROG, BBIG, those are two plays that I touched on and I've been talking about for several weeks now, and it's starting to come to fruition. I thought BBIG was going to be like, all right, I'm going to have to come make a video and hang my head, and I really missed that. But, it's looking pretty strong. In any moment, it could turn around. Let's touch here on the legendary, the AMC. Uh, no news, nothing has changed. They are reporting earnings next week. That's going to be interesting to see what happens, because Adam Aaron has talked a lot about a new business venture that they're going into. There was also rumors about AMC and GameStop having some sort of collaboration. There's been rumors about NFTs. They confirmed that AMC is going to be accepting Dogecoin, although that didn't really do anything for Doge at the time. But it'd be interesting to see what Adam Aaron has to say for the new vision of AMC now that he has all this free money, and we all know this is going to the moon. There have also been some state pension funds that have been investing into AMC now, and their buy-in point has been in the high 40s. So they got to know something. If state pension plans are buying into a security that is not an index fund, then there's a reason for that. They're seeing a bullish momentum. They're trying to make a little money off of it. AMC, I'm holding, always holding, never sold, will only buy. And that's just that. That's the long and short of AMC. This is going to be the true play. This is going to be the one they're going to write books about. This is going to be the one we're going to talk about. This is going to be the one that will ultimately correct them, because these hedge funds they're gonna be forced to pull out of their long plays that will crash these index funds and save these beta stocks. Those of you that don't know what a beta stock is, AMC is a beta stock because it is primarily owned by the retail investor. So in the event of a market crash, and institutions could pull out large amounts of shares, sell them all at once in the same minute, and it causes that security to crash. Very similar to short selling, okay? But they're actually selling their shares. And so it causes it to crash real quick and all at once. But since this stock is owned by the majority of retail investors, it cannot happen that quickly. There's not going to be millions of us that get together and sell all at the same time. So it's a lot more safe to be in something like this, which is a little bit of an oxymoron and a little, crazy, because this is a very volatile stock. But if the market were to correct, this would actually be a pretty safe place to be, because it would take us all freaking out at the same time and selling it. And, going from 75 down to 30, if we didn't sell then, what's it going to take? And I know I know a lot of apes out there that are literally sitting in this because of principle. And that's it's hard to break principle. There are a lot of people that are really pissed off about what happened here. And I try not to get that emotional about it, but it's we all have our reasons, and it's not, sure, win Lambo, wear banana, all that, but like, what squeeze? But there is becoming a principal play in this, and I think that is an amazing thing to see. Wanted to touch on one more stock here, one I've been talking about, ticker symbol AQST, Aquestive. Yeah. Okay. Not a lot of volume, and there hasn't been. This average volume is 486,000. Today it's low, 244. But this short interest, it to me, is really interesting. They have 3 million shares out on loan for something that its free float is 36 million. This is just an interesting play for me. Someone brought it to my attention, and I've been watching it. Let's look at the day chart. Like, I mean, and thank you, by the way, if you're watching this, for bringing this to my attention, because since you did that, we have been on a hellacious bull trend, or yeah, bull trend. I mean, hellacious. Like look at this. This is on the day chart. Okay, so I mean, going from 368 up to 503 today. I mean, that's a decent, that's a decent increase, and it's been green. What, one, two, four, five, uh, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 11 of the past days. I mean, this is an interesting play, and there's really no news. Um, they had negative earnings, I guess. I didn't see that. I mean, there's not a lot of interest in it. Other than, you look at the fundamentals of this and you look at the technicals of this, and like that just is strong. This would be a good play when I'm ready to get back into a swing play, or a more longer term play. Then this is one I'm looking at to develop. Towards the end of the year, maybe there it may. So let's real quick. Just I feel like that we are gonna have to touch on this. Okay, so this is Shiba, as we've all been watching this. For the hour. Okay, I'm amazed by the strength that this shitcoin has, and I just want to say it again, shitcoin, um, because it serves no purpose. No one even accepts it as currency. So I mean, think about that. And it's funny, like all these people that are like, "Oh, this is going to a cent. This is going to go to 10 cents." And like, guys, this went to point one, that would be exponentially more currency than is even circulating in the entire planet. So like, don't get your hopes up. Okay, it's not possible. You can't create wealth from nothing, and I mean, absorb more than every currency in the world. Okay, like, I mean, I could see this maybe going to, I mean, maybe, cent, maybe, but like, I just don't know how. I could see this dropping down and getting into the thousandth of a cent. Um, that would be a real possibility, but it's all going to be hype. Okay, this coin does nothing. No one accepts it. So just keep that in mind. This is interesting. This is Dogecoin on the hour chart. Let's look at the minute chart because this is fun. Wow. And what caused this? Day chart. Uh, bounced. This bounced. Okay, and I know Elon has been out there. I don't really even want to talk about him. I respect Elon Musk. Those of you that watch my video, like I don't, I have no ill will against him. I think he's an incredible person. But his influence in this market, and no, if no one could do that on Wall Street, we all know that we couldn't have an influence scale on. But for those of you holding Doge, and those of us that went through, uh, those of us that went through this shit right here, this was absolute. And then hopes up, and then hell. But I mean, look at this. Like this squeeze play today. I mean, this is looking like the all-time high. I mean, it really, it is so close to this level of support. Um, and this actually has a utilization. You can actually buy things. Um, so I'll be honest with you. I'm in Shiba. I'm in Doge. Okay, I'm in uh, Cardano. I'm in Matic. I'm in Polygon. I am not in Bitcoin. I am not in, and mostly because I just can't freaking afford it. Um, And it's not that I don't believe in what they do. I just the coins that I'm in, I have a reason for being in them. And when something kind of like I made like 10,000% or more on baby Doge, and it just felt like an opportunity, and I just gambled on it and I won. But that honestly, that is no way to develop a strategy at all. One of the worst things that ever happened to me is that I won on my first play, and that was awful. That was absolutely awful. So yeah, and in all honesty, today I haven't taken any trades at all. I've really just been kind of watching the market. There were a few this morning that I was looking at on my screener um, that I was considering going in, and then I just kind of felt like I needed to watch today and just kind of see what was going on and manage any losses in my assets. And so that's where I've been. The one I'm watching just really close here is the DWAC because I still have a position in it, but I mean I got in like it was like I don't know. I open it up and just live here on. It was under $12 is where I got in. So I'm gonna hold on to that. Like I've I have really taken advantage of this, and I hope that you did too. I really do, because the more that we, as retail investors, the more that we are able to understand algorithmic trading, and the more that we get involved in the market, then we will correct the problem just simply on the basis of these algorithmic computers that do the trading. The one thing they cannot calculate is the human element, which is you cannot. Who knows, what I'm going to decide to do in 5 minutes? They can't predict that. So once we all start getting in trading and buying and selling, and you get a retail that's shorting this stock, and you get retail that is making hedges and buying options and selling and day trading and all that, it just screws them up and they lose their ability to manipulate it. So the more people that were educated that are in the market and are making good decisions and playing it, not like they're just throwing coins into a slot machine, the better off we really will be in hedge funds and the thing that everyone is complaining about, these institutions, they won't be able to play in this game, or they'll have to completely redevelop their strategy. And we're seeing that happen. It will happen, and they'll develop a new and better strategy, and then we'll have to develop our strategy, and that's just the ebb and flow of how it goes. That's called a market correction. It'll always happen, and if it ever doesn't happen, then it's not good. The lack of progress is terrible. So, anyways, that's where I'm at. This is what I'm looking at. It's really simple. It's really simple. I don't get into it over my head. I'm hoping to be able to do some day trading, take some trades tomorrow, but I'm watching today. Wednesday's a great day for that. So I said Wednesday. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. Finance on Thursday. Halloween's this weekend. I guess I've just completely lost it. Actually, I'll be completely honest with you. I really haven't been sitting at this desk much at all today. I detailed my car. I hung out with my dog. I played some music today. And like I said, I do work. This is not what I do full time. I'm working on it with an NPO. I'm working on doing some marketing and SEO, SEM type stuff for clients. And I really enjoyed doing that actually. I've been kind of just doing that and listening to my podcast and taking it easy. Yeah. And you really need to do that. If you're into this, you don't need to really suffer every day. I got up early at 4 and watched the market, and then by about 10 o'clock, I was. I mean, I felt like uh, pretty much my entire portfolio, other than Shiba, is, and even where I'm at on Shiba. But anyways, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I would really excuse me, I would really appreciate it if you all just at the very least like my video. Okay. That would be freaking awesome. And if you wanted to subscribe, that would be even better. Because Lord knows I could certainly use it. Again, in comment, comment. Tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you think I'm wrong about, please. Or tell me what you think I got right. The only way we're gonna learn, the only way that we are going to have progress is through interaction. I want to be the best that I can be. I want you to be the best that you can be. And really, two heads are better. I hope everybody has a blessed day. I hope you accomplish everything you set out to do today. And thanks for sticking around. Yeah, that's about it. So this wraps up another episode of We're Talking Finance. Come on.